All right, here we are with Keith Roth. I'm Mark Weiss, and we're here to talk about his not new, kind of old but new, Frankenstein 3000, Lost in Space, Volume 1. So let's get right to the punch here. Like,
right.
When's the release date?
November 22nd.
November 22nd, okay.
Yeah.
And is there a pre-order available?
There's a pre-order by the time people are watching me and Mark Weiss talk about Frankenstein 3000. The pre-order's available, but they can get it anywhere November 22nd, but to pre-order the bundle, I advise going to mainmanrecords.com.
Bundles are great. So what's in a bundle? It's like a CD?
All right, well, you're going to get you're going to get the 12-inch version of this.
Right.
And you're going to get a CD at a very...
And is the vinyl like an open-up thing? Or?
There's an insert in there.
Insert? Okay.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful package, but
awesome.
I mean, listen, this is a band that I've had together since 1997, and
wow,
what I feel is the quintessential compilation of all the tracks, is on Frankenstein 3000,
and
Lost in Space Volume 1.
Where do you get it? Mainmanrecords.com. They can get the bundle.
You can get the bundle mainmanrecords.com. You can pre-order it there.
Is it a best of record?
I mean, well, I guess you could say it's a best of record because a lot of the earlier records didn't have proper distribution. There's a lot of, so I mean, but there's something from all the records there. But I approached it as like, if I recorded all these songs and they were all demos. I mean, not demos; they're all recorded,
right.
And I could put together the greatest Frankenstein 3000 records. We've made a lot of albums.
Right.
I think this would be it. But it was really tough to come up with.
You're the curator though, so or you have like a jury and like you had a
I'm the guy that's been there from note one till the last note.
All right, well said. Question. This is Volume 1.
Right.
Usually when someone puts Volume 1, that means maybe there's a Volume 2. How many songs do you have that you think could,
So when the idea was asked to me, I came up with 40 songs.
40. So 40. That's 2 volumes.
Right. So I broke it, and it was very tough breaking it from 40 down to 20. And now the vinyl doesn't have all 20. The vinyl has like 15. The CD has all 20. And the digital, I think, will have 20 as well. But there's some hidden stuff in there. So if you have some disposable leisure time, you want to go searching. There is some. Actually, there's some live stuff hidden throughout some of the different configurations.
Now, I heard that the robot, Lost in Space, that makes an appearance, or is that they got to search? They got to play it backwards, and maybe Danger Will Robinson. None of that.
Danger Will Robinson.
Yeah.
You hear me say that a lot, don't you?
Yeah. Well, Lost in Space. I mean,
Well, no,
great name.
I love the TV show.
Yeah.
Actually, it was weird because Frankenstein did put out an album called Lost in Space. That came out only in Asia.
Really?
And the cover was cool, and it really basically.
This is a cool cover.
I love the cover. The great Frank Perry did that.
Which one are you? Which color are you?
I mean, I guess since I love Prince, I'll say I'm the purple guy.
You're the purple. I would have been the purple. But I was in the band, I would have been purple.
Yeah, well, they broke copyright over there, so it was like basically they ripped off the actual Lost in Space TV show, and they used the logo and everything. But we only got like a couple copies. But anyway, I figured like, all right, quintessential. If this does well enough, there is enough for a volume.
Well, it's going to do well enough. Right, it's going to do more than well enough.
All right,
but
I appreciate that.
Where did it come about? Did you wake up one morning and said, "I got to do my favorites"?
No. I mean, we're all busy guys. See, I don't know what the future is of Frankenstein. We played our last show in January, and what's cool is the last couple of years we've been playing theaters. We haven't been playing clubs, and everybody's in so many different bands. So when we get together, it's been cool. But with the Dictators, and I finished my solo record, and you took some great pictures for that solo record.
Yeah.
But what happened was the idea they asked me, would you want to put together a greatest hits of Frankenstein 3000 from all the records? And I said, well, it's a good idea, maybe one day. But then I'm on tour with the Dictators, and we're playing in Spain. Yeah. We're playing like every night.
Which I did the cover for too.
Yeah, you did the Dictators album,
and Mikkel did the art direction.
Hey, we're on being interviewed by Mark Weiss. We'd expect nothing less. But while I was in Spain, I'm like, all these 6-hour bus trips from gig to gig. I started like thinking about that idea, and all of a sudden I took out a notepad and I'm listening to some of the earlier records, and I'm like, you know what? If this could be the last record of the band, maybe not. And I started pulling. Oh, this would be great. Oh, I'd love to remix this. Hey, we never recorded that one. That would be cool. And I came up with a list of 40. And then and that's where I had the time to say, okay, when I came back from Spain, I said, let's do this.
Right.
So it's coming out through MBD nationally on the 22nd of November.
Right.
With the pre-order in advance, vinyl and CD, mainmanrecords.com.
Right.
$29.99.
Hey. that leads to my next question. Is there a new Frankenstein 3000 record going to
I hope so. I mean, listen, I love this band. I've been part of this band. I mean, look, we've backed up so many great musicians. We've played with so many different bands. We've done over 1,000 shows. And and some of the lineups have been together, 10 years at a clip. That's the beauty of this record. Like the lineup with Clint and Eric, they put in over a decade. Derek Hawkins was in the band for a while. There's even stuff going back that we recorded at Sean Mars's studio. Mm-hmm. So I mean, but it feels like a proper album. Like the first track is David Johansen doing Babylon with us, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? They've asked us for Record Store Day if we wanted to release that as a single. And then they asked about putting out America's Hit Remakers on vinyl. And I was like, these are great ideas, but I'm like, you know what, this is such a great way to start a record. And I sequenced it the way where I think it kind of flows as like, if you know nothing else about this band, this is really a beautiful thing.
All right, special guests. I know you
had David Joe.
Babylon.
On vinyl, making the vinyl debut.
Tell me about that. Tell me,
initially it was on a New York Dolls tribute record called something to Babylon, I forgot. And the guy knew I worked with David, and he asked me, he's like, what are the odds of you getting David Johansen on this New York Dolls tribute with your band backing him up? And he was like Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols on there.
Wow.
So, I said to David, I'm like, this guy threw this idea.
Slim to none, probably.
And he's like, you know what, for you, I'll do it.
Of course.
So I was like,
that was his partner in crime on
Mansion of Fun.
Mansion of Fun.
Right, so we got together, we recorded the track, and I gave the track to him, and he was blown away. But the day we recorded it, he said, dude, bring the lyrics. I'm like, you wrote the lyrics. But he said, I'm actually going to do some shows with the New York Dolls. I'm like, we're going to get back together. Arthur was still alive. And he goes, Morrissey is doing this Meltdown thing. He's curating it. He was the president of the Dolls fan club. And we're going to get together. We're going to go in style, Right. So anyway, that was really the basis of the New York Dolls getting back together. But then when we did America's Hit Remakers, we remixed it, and now we remastered it. So a lot of the songs on there have been remixed. A lot of songs that we did, we never recorded properly. We got to record. It's got all the history of all the guys that have been on there.
And Punky Meadows, tell me what's that about.
Well, Punky was, the favorite record that I ever did with Frankenstein was The Blunt Truth. I think that's my favorite record I ever did. And that song, Feeling Alright Once More, was on that album. But if I'm thinking, if this is the last Frankenstein and it's quintessential, I wanted to get that track on there. And how that came together is when Punky was doing the Fallen Angel record, that I had some involvement with, Bob Pantella, Danny Aniello really got it all together. But those guys were recording at Bob's studio, and I was kind of doing that stuff in the afternoon. So when I did that song, Punky and Danny recorded it. Bob played drums or percussion really on that one. We had Kenny Aronson come up, so that's how Punky and Danny are on there.
Right.
Like David and Punky are on there, Kenny Aronson, but it's my band. I'm proud of the songs. I think it's like really the best of all the records we've done, and they've been remixed. Some of the songs have been remixed, like Citadel, the Stones cover. We used to play it live. We got to track it with, we recorded it on there. So but like I said, if it does well enough, there's enough for a volume 2.
I've heard all these songs over the decades, but not like this. I wanted to dig up my old CD collection. Now I just got to get this one on vinyl. I think I'm going to get it on vinyl because
Listen, Mark, I've given you CDs. You don't have a CD player, so we could be honest with the people. But you have vinyl.
I have vinyl, yeah.
And if you go to mainmanrecords.com,
you can get the bundle.
You'll get the bundle.
Yeah. Last question: the history of Frankenstein 3000 and. Did it bring back memories?
Yeah, absolutely. Going through this thing?
Yeah, because I see like inside you have like a big collection of photographs.
Well, that's been the thing with all, the last few Frankenstein. Since we started putting our stuff out on vinyl, like The Blunt Truth, there's a collage, and then on the intermediary stage there was a collage, and I basically got the idea from Aerosmith Rocks. What do you do for an insert? I'm like, collage of photos.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see photos of all the different lineups of Frankenstein, all the shows we've done. I mean,
that's awesome.
We played 1,000 shows, and also the trophy from winning Best Rock Band. We won an Asbury Music Award, so there's a picture of that. Yeah, of course, you get very.
So you got a little history lesson in here. You got 20 plus songs.
Yep.
And so. Mark Weiss signing off with Keith Roth, Frankenstein 3000, Lost in Space Volume 1.
Coming out nationally November 22nd, but if you go to mainmanrecords.com, you get the vinyl, the CD, and we prefer you to get it. It's only limited too, I think they're only giving us 100.
Get them. Get them now before they sell out.
If you're watching this, it's available now, mainmanrecords.com.